in this class we would be talking about some of the major developments from the Yojana edition for November. Now G20 and India's presidency is a really important topic. We have nearly 85% of the global GDP, 75% of the international trade that accounts with the G20 nations, and therefore an action plan to accelerate the progress on sustainable development goals is required, which mainly focuses on climate, environmental sustainability, green development, a strong sustainable balanced growth, transformation for 21st century, the financial sectors and others. Also, African Union has now become part of G20, so technically it is now G21, right? And also we are staggering at 80% of the economic growth, and Africa is aimed to drive this further. There is another concept of life, which is lifestyle for environment, that talks about transforming the people to pro-planet approach, and this pro-planet approach focuses on nudging behaviors based on demand and supply that could actually strengthen ways to have a better environment around us with minimum disturbance and impact on the environmental conditions. So per capita footprint of India, for example, if we say, is lowest among the world, and this actually is lower than many other nations, and this is actually because of our traditional practices. So even if we talk about farming, if we are onto organic farming, if we are onto nano urea, it is actually a way forward to move towards traditional practices or even practices which hamper the environment to its minimum. So reshaping demand, rethinking the supply, and having a responsive ecosystem is required. Now this life, which is the lifestyle for environment, goes through various phases. The first is the change in demand, the second is the change in supply, and the third is the change in the policy action. The next is National New Delhi Leaders Declaration, NDLD. Now, there are 83 paragraphs that have been quoted, which focuses on financial support, technological support from global north, and the idea is to combat climate change, have a sustainable development, and new collective quantification goals for climate finance. Now, there are various things which have to be taken into account. For example, gender equality, women, girl empowerment. We are talking about three important constructs when we talk about women empowerment. These talks about providing suvidha, that is facility, suraksha, that is safety, and samman, that is a proper respect. So 81% of the loans which are given to women are aimed to have a better inclusive economic growth for Stand Up India. There are new tap connections that have been provided under Jal Jeevan Mission. We are now having one of the longest paid maternity leaves, which is extended from 12 weeks to 26 weeks. Muslim women, the dignity have been ensured by abolishing triple talaq. LPG connections have been given under the Jan Dhan Yojana. New accounts have been created, of which 56% are for women. There are increasing influences. For example, India has earned the title of Vishwamitra, a universal friend and a mediator, and this has actually brought way forward for creating various new initiatives. For example, Startup 20, disaster relief reduction, global digital public infrastructure at India, and a One Future Alliance, which is a voluntary initiative for technical assistance. The G20 summit in New Delhi has 5 key outcomes, which talks about Green Development Pact, action plan, high-level principles on anti-corruption, support for digital public infrastructure, and reforms for multilateral development banks. For the global security, we are talking about G20 millets, which talk about Maharshi, that is millets along with the ancient grains international research initiative focusing on climate resilient grains. So this is again a very important initiative. Green Development Pact, this focuses on addressing to the matters of forest, ecosystem, marine issues, collaboration with environment. Madhubani art. Now Shanti Devi has been considered as a foremost paramount for creating Madhubani paintings in Mithila area. She has been awarded National Award for Extraordinary Craftsmanship. It was the pandemic period which affected the financial uncertainties, but the GI tag for Madhubani has brought it to its life, and it can be traced to more than 2500 years ago. Also, India is moving towards an energy transition from non-renewable to renewable sources of energy. 40% of the power generation is coming from non-fossil fuel sources now, and we are aiming to get it ahead to more non-fossil fuel sources. So we aim to have a 5,000 gigawatts of installed capacity from non-fuel sources by 2030. A national action plan on climate change was introduced in 2008, and then we are also talking about an initial target of 20 gigawatts being increased to 100 gigawatts, and this revision has led to a national solar mission and increase in the national solar mission. We have also talked about the benefits of the interstate transmission system, where the charges waivers have been given till 2025 by the government for all renewable energy projects. Talking about green hydrogen mission, and the production capacities have been important. Solar parks, the Krishi Urja Suraksha, rooftop solar schemes have been released. Green energy corridors have been established. There have been transmission lines and substations being built. From the power sector, we are talking about household connectivity of electricity under the Saubhagya scheme, 100% electrification under the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Jyoti Yojana. We have also witnessed that there have been issues with the programs which are mainly with the regulatory fund. So compliance, timely adoption, and levying an extra charge is really important. Transmission of infrastructure, circular economy world is really important. And this talks about the global opportunity for sustainable development goals, sustainable consumption and production hotspots to be created. The UN report has talked about 1.5 degree lifestyle towards a fair consumption space for all, which is again a really important aspect. Transforming the supply and economy's high impact sector, creating a circular economy, focusing on steel scrap, vehicle scrap is another important aspect. Collaborating with businesses, facilitating experience, and enhancing the circular economy. Now coming on to tourism. Tourism in itself is good, but if we can create sustainable tourism, it's further better. So with the mission life, which we discussed before, the lifestyle for environment, we are talking about travel for life program, which brings in behavioral change in the tourists when they are more exposed to issues of environment and climate issues. Also a circular economy, which we have discussed in detail in our previous lecture on down to earth. If that has to be understood, that means the things which are discarded in the developed nations are being used in the developing nations, has been brought under it. And UNEP, which is the United Nations Environment Program, serves as a custodian of 8 out of the 12 indicators under Sustainable Development Program. The next is the Global Tourism Plastic Initiatives. Now here the state of Punjab, along with the Nodal Agency for Sustainable Tourism and Responsible Tourism Society of India, has been working forward for unifying the tourism sector with a common mission and understanding the tourism businesses and destinations. Creating a public digital infrastructure is really important because cyberspace has no borders. If that could be brought and exemplified with the JAM Trinity, which is the Jandan, Aadhaar and mobile aspect that we have discussed, along with the BharatNet, which is providing internet to the periphery and the villages in India, can lead to good developments. And this would actually have key initiatives with Make in India, Startup India, Smart Cities, Aadhaar, Umang, DigiLocker. So Digital India initiative we are launching in 2015 with G20 commitments, talking about fiber to home connections, deploying Wi-Fi hotspots. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, as we already mentioned, is really important, benefiting the rural households. A central bank digital currency has been released. Now this is again an interesting aspect because this is the launch of e-rupee. Now this e-rupee is really an interesting term because so far we are familiar with the physical currencies, but moving towards e-rupee, which is a digital token for the ledger which is being issued by the RBI. It is an approach to have digital currency solutions in India. Similarly, we have the Smart City mission, the Aadhaar mission, the Umang and the DigiLocker, where we have a one-stop portal for all the digital documents to be entered digitally, and through the Umang app it could be accessed for all the services across health, education and different disciplines. Also, we are talking to include AI, that is artificial intelligence, to bridge this gap, solve the problems through responsible, inclusive and human-centric approach, and to give benefits to the common people. So AI is used nowadays for security, for surveillance, for inventory management as chatbots. So responsible AI is the need of the hour. It's not just AI has come into action and it would bring in drastic changes in the results. But if the AI is responsible, it could lead to better changes and better understanding. Also, Niti Aayog highlights 7 principles: safety, reliability, equality, inclusiveness, privacy, security, transparency, accountability, protection with human values reinforced are some of those. Also, we are talking about AI, algorithm, automation incidents and controversies, biased machine learning, focusing on the internet, AI, focusing on the global consensus and other concepts. Then we have Bhashini app. Now this is a app that responds the queries in the mother tongue, and this has been brought as bridging the digital divide, where you have language variations or diversities. Now Jugalbandi bot is a technology which ensures that the services are reached to the last mile, and this platform actually focuses on language and dialects which are spoken by the people. We also fill out the form in our own dialect through this IVR, which is the featured phone technology that you can use. Jan Bhagidari is one of the important aspects, right? So safety, security, resilience under the cyber security and digital skilling is one of the important aspects. Under security and trust, we talk about openness, transparency, consensus promotion, and development of market-led and industry-led approach. Capacity building is really important, where we promote lifelong learning objectives for all digital technologies, regulatory and non-regulatory framework. We also focus on research and development, resilience for strengthening the essential services, supporting the medium and small scale industries, providing the approach for funding, support and improving the capacities for MSMEs. For Professor Swaminathan and his approach to the development and cause of agriculture in India, we have already covered a separate lecture. Just to have a quick summary, he is well renowned as the father of India's green revolution, had a scientific approach which brought in high yielding variety seeds, bringing in maximization of the productivity, managing good growing seasons and good crops, bringing in rice in the areas which were unexplored and were only the areas where wheat cultivation was earlier thought of. Whenever you have issues related to agriculture, MS Swaminathan's approach is the first that comes to mind, and his Climate Research Foundation started in 1989, and this also talks about using stri straws for useful end products. In Tamil Nadu, there are 5 major farming systems which were used in the ancient areas and have been adopted for hill, forest, wet zone, coastal and desert. They have been known as Kurunji, Mullai, Marutham, Nithal and Pallai. So India has been transforming from a high carbon society to a low carbon society, and this has been made possible through the technological innovations and the developments that have taken place. So that was for today. Thanks for joining in. In case you have any questions or queries, feel free to connect back and have a wonderful day ahead.